Hey everyone, welcome back. Yeah, lots of good discussion ahead.
Not
Tim
if
is
you're a
early today.
PlayStation fan.
Yeah,
You're a little
well,
early.
we're gonna talk about that. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So, what did you want to start with? You just sent a
Oh
message.
yeah, yeah. So we're going to start with a little bit of news. Came out of the blue this week. As we all know, I love Sims, and I play Dead by Daylight pretty much every day. So,
Oh, that's what it
little
was. Okay.
context for people who are not familiar. For a while now, at least the past 6+ months, at least they have 2 versus 8. So the core game. I mean, everyone should know Dead by Daylight by now, but if in case you don't, the core game is one killer versus 4 survivors, right?
Mhm.
And they introduced a new mode that fans have been requesting for years is 2 versus 8. So double everything. Two
Okay.
killers, two uh, 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 8 survivors. The mode's very chaotic, very fast paced, way different. You don't have your perks, etc. I'm not gonna get into the details, but anyways, the the iterations of them have been only original content, means the ones that behavior the developer owns, their own characters. As we all know, they have tons of licensed characters, but none of the licensed characters have been into this new mode. Several reasons for that. One, they have to get permission. So I'm not saying it's official, but let's say the Freddy IP owner for Freddy Krueger and Michael
Yeah.
Myers, which are both in the game.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
say they both. Oh no, 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 no. We don't want Freddy with Michael. That bullshit. We're not going to allow
Yeah.
it. So they don't have creative freedom, unfortunately, in their own game, which is kind of weird. You have to respect the license agreements. But anyways, Capcom has been notoriously great with Dead by Daylight, allowing skins, allowing various things. So now we have our official first 2 versus 8, which comes back on February 10th in a few days through the 25th. So you have a lot of time to hunt down those rats. It's Resident Evil theme, which
Okay.
is going to include the RPD, which is the Raccoon Police Department, the famous level from, I believe, the first game, if I remember correctly. Is going to be one of the maps in this mode in the rotation, which is great because I'm a Trapper main. That's one of Trapper's best maps, so I'm really looking forward to it. And you get to play as Nemesis and Mr. Westy for free, even if you don't own the DLC. So that's awesome as well. It gives a chance for people who've never played those characters, allow them to. And I'm glad they're doing that, by the way, because I think they're doing it for a couple of reasons. One, it would suck and leave out a substantial amount of your user base if you don't own the DLC. Like, oh, well, I can't play these guys. You know, the Resident Evil theme, I can't even access the Resident Evil characters. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm glad that we're finally getting licensed characters. And I knew that Capcom, and I'm pretty sure Konami as well, will be very, very flexible. Who knows, though? Konami and Capcom have been kind of rivals, so they might not want their characters to be in the same mode at the same time. Who knows? We'll see. But I knew Capcom's very, very cool. They've been allowed to, like I said, allowed to skin because, as we all know, everyone says, why does Freddy Krueger not have any skins? Michael Myers only has technically one, his official, and the nightgown from the movie. So, yeah, and it's not because behavior can't do it, guys. It's because they have to get permission.
Mm.
Believe me, the developer would love to make Freddy Krueger skins because you know what that means. Moolah, 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 because it would sell a lot. But yeah, unfortunately, they don't have creative freedom when it comes to these licensed characters. But I'm happy to see that Capcom is the first up to the plate, and they hit a grand slam. I'm really looking forward to it on the 10th. So, and it's a lot of fun. Even on both sides, if you like the Survivor side, it's just so chaotic. Some people don't like it because they don't have their familiar builds and perks, and it's just so much chaos going on. Some people don't like that. They like the traditional mode where it's a lot more slower paced and you can hide and seek and stuff like that. But each their own. I love it. I love playing with a second killer. I have a couple of buddies we play. But yeah. So you guys, any Dead by Daylight fans, I'm really looking forward to that.
Very
Anyways,
cool.
Jared.
No, that's very cool, man. That's very cool. Yeah, I mean, I haven't played, so no real. No.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. You should have downloaded one of the 5 billion games in your Steam library there in your wish list.
Which one?
The one you were telling me about the other day there, Resetna, I think is what it's called.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome, dude. Man, I'll get it, but dude, I'm telling you, guess what's coming out? Avowed and next week or a few days next week, Civilization 7, which, by the way, you guys could play now if you're dumb enough to pay.
I knew you were going to talk about
$100 USD. You know, price varies where you're on the world. If you're dumb enough because you can play it right now. Anyone who I shouldn't say they're dumb, but each their own. But no, I don't fall for that crap. I'm not buying it early. I'll love the game, play a shit ton of hours out of it, but I refuse to do it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, listen.
There goes the puppy, by the way. So you might have to take a little solo thing while I go to it in a second. But
whatever, don't worry about it, man. Like, it's all good. If you gotta go, you go, and I'll just talk to myself. I'm used to that. Like it's really interesting, that whole like business model, you know, like it started with like get it like 48 hours early. Now they're starting to increase, and I'm just like, this is getting so ridiculous. Feedback is very typical for Civ so far, from what I see, where, you know, there's like, it's not bugs, but it's like, you know, you may have like a button icon in the GUI that's like missing.
People don't like it.
But the thing is, people always forget this with Civilization, that it's like, guys, have you ever played a Civ game? Like, at launch, these things are, it's not buggy. Yeah. It's not, I don't want to use that word. It's not like a Bethesda game where it's like practically broken and they're sort of fixing it while you're playing. It's like, it's almost always like weird things that are happening. So anyway, I'm expecting, basically, I think the last one I played was Civ 5, I think.
Oh wow, so because you remember when Civ 6 came out, people were complaining about its
that's
art
what I'm
style,
saying.
but they end up liking it. Well, the biggest complaints now is everyone says, "Oh, the console, it's designed for console UI." Of course, you know, it might be. I'm not saying I haven't played it yet. I've seen screenshots. It doesn't seem drastically bad design for me, but you know, people love to complain. But you have to remember, from a developer standpoint, it would be kind of to make it a universal type thing where it could work both.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not such a, I'm not going to rip them apart because of the UI, unless it's just clunky and atrocious or something.
Yeah, but I mean, do you remember, dude? Do you remember that everyone did the same thing with like Diablo and stuff like that? Like they were like, "Oh my god, man!" And I'm like, guys, Jesus. I'm like, as long as you have good controls for the platforms that you're playing, let's be honest, okay? Let me reach over. I guarantee you have one of these. I guarantee it.
Yep, right over here. Mine's blue, by the way.
Like, well, the blue one is my Steam Deck one, funny enough.
Yeah. See? Guys, I do have a control. The only reason I have this is
that's the exact one I bought for. That's the Sonic one, isn't it?
On a PC, you can play it. By the way, most games are designed for controllers.
And
Steven's argument about how he doesn't like the keyboard and mouse and he'll never adapt is nade, because it's not. It doesn't. Well, I'm thinking of which, Monster Hunter Wilds, some people complain that, you could tell it's designed for the controller, which, by the way, World was for PC. Horrible optimization for keyboard and mouse. There was really, if you played with keyboard and mouse in that game, you're actually at a hindrance. You should have played with the, but Rise did a good job with keyboard and mouse integration.
Well, anyway,
so I'm sure Wilds would too.
Whatever the case may be, the thing I'm just saying is, like, today, like, you know, as long as there's good controls and stuff that makes sense for what you're playing. I don't know why people complain so bloody much.
Yeah, because people love to complain, man.
Yeah, tell me about it. Like with Steam, I mean, guys, you have big picture mode, right? So you can actually do all your installations, all your everything with a controller. If you really want.
100%. Yeah, matter of fact, when I bring up the Xbox Game Pass, because I can play like NHL and some of their console games that are on the service on Game Pass. So it's awesome. I get to finally play NHL again. But it requires a controller. You cannot play with keyboard and mouse. And some of the games allow you to do keyboard and mouse, but it even gives you a prompt saying, please connect your controller, because a lot of these games are literally console games and they weren't coded for your keyboard and mouse. So it's a great service, by the way, because I know why Electronic Arts doesn't make NHL for PC, because there's just unfortunately not a market. That's one series I really do miss from my console days, and they don't make it on the Switch, but they might the Switch too. So I'm hoping for it. Yeah,
well, you also have your Xbox now, right? Like you can not the console, but
it's through emulation though, man. So I don't know what it's like on multiplayer.
Emulation? It's not. You're not streaming.
Well, it's not emulation. It's basically a terminal, right? You go to their server, and you play it through there. But with multiplayer games, you think there might. I have to try it.
I was just gonna say, dude, don't knock it until you try it, because like I was playing Indiana Jones on my PC through that, and I was
it worked flawless.
Yeah,
that's
flawless.
a single player game.
No, I know.
There's no fast, decisions, no fast.
Yeah, but I didn't notice any lag. Like
no, it ran flawless, dude. I was impressed. Yeah,
so try it. Give it a. You have nothing to lose.
I'll see.
Yeah, you have nothing to lose. So okay, guys. There's some really big news happening right now that's got a lot of people scared. So if you remember back to 2011, Sony got hacked bad, like really bad. And it took like so many different companies to help out and stuff. And like it was really, really, really bad. Like it was one of the first like really big attacks where like they were going after credit card numbers, email address, like all kinds of crazy stuff. And like Steven, that's when Steven was like really started getting paranoid of like online play and stuff like that. Now, jeez. Not online play, but like storing your credit cards and stuff stuff like that. And guys, like I'd love to tell you that like that can't happen. It can happen everywhere. Like if people want to get in, they're going to get in. So right now, I think starting yesterday, the PlayStation Network and all services. So everything. It's not just the PlayStation Network. It is the PlayStation Network, obviously, but it's everything affiliated with it. So like you can't use your portal right now. The PlayStation Store is down, all the video stuff's down, gaming is social is down, account management is down, everything. That has people, myself included, nervous, because when it's the whole network and it's been gone, I believe we just passed 24 hours that it's been.
Has it been?
Off.
I thought it was 16. It could be. It could be 24 hours.
Well, I think it was 16.
Is it back
earlier
up
this
yet?
morning.
I heard that.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Not yet. Like I just went on the. That's why I just went on the official site, and they have like their thing, and every single one of them is red. Because
not good.
No, it's not good. So fingers and toes crossed that this is not a data breach. It's one thing if someone attacks your network and starts to screw stuff up. It's another thing if they get access to data. I
don't know, man. Sony's this has happened twice. You kind of think that they would have learned their lesson.
Well, I'm sure they did learn their lesson. That's what's kind of like that's what's worrisome here. Is like what's going on. So guys, like we're recording this on Saturday in the afternoon Eastern time. Okay, so hopefully it's back by the time you hear this, because let's see, I forget the amount. I think it was 60. Hold on, let's see something. PlayStation,
it was a long time. Yeah,
network 2011 total outage duration. Let's take a look at this. I'm just curious. Okay, the attack occurred between April 17th and April 19th, forcing Sony to deactivate the PlayStation Network servers on April 20th. The outage lasted 23 days. I thought it was longer than that, but okay.
That's still insane, man. That's insane that it was down so long.
Okay, so hold on, because... Oh, no, yeah, it must be 3.5 weeks would be, that's about
right.
Yeah,
that's unacceptable, though, dude. Imagine if Steam was down for 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, well, right? I know,
think exactly. About it. Yeah, it's
exactly. But it's even worse because, I know you want to do your whole rant, so I'll let you do your rant. But...
All right, so I told Jared this, and I'm going to poke fun at console players, and this is Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony, not just Sony. But it's amazing how these console manufacturers get away with one of the biggest ripoffs known to man, paying an extra fee to play your games online. What bullshit! I remember back when online gaming was first coming to consoles, and it was free, so you obviously had to buy the game, right? But some executives, some big shots said, hey, let's take advantage because there's no competition, because it's true. On Sony, Xbox, and PlayStation, and Nintendo, that's all closed. You can't go to a Switch and say, oh, well, F you, Nintendo. I'm going to go down the street and get Homeboy's thing or play online. Yeah, but because I was always, I talked to my friend about it. I'm surprised Steam hasn't done this, where they would require you to have some kind of subscription, but they're just a storefront third-party vendor. They can't because they don't own everything, right? They don't own hardware, they don't own the internet, or vice versa. And PC, you're free to connect to any method you want. And two, their competition would be like probably sitting there salivating. Oh, come to us, Epic Game Store, where you get to play free. You don't have to worry about it. So yeah, fortunately, you can't do that crap on PC. At least these companies haven't figured out a way to do it yet. But I've always thought that was the most ridiculous way of scamming your customers for something that should be included with your purchases. But hey, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
Okay, so with that out of the way,
you agree with me too, Jared. You just don't want to admit.
For this, so yeah, like I've always been like, if you take Steam, right? The thing with Steam is take everyone gone. Okay, there's no Nintendo, there's no nothing, there's whatever. Guys, like, do you have any idea how much money Valve is making from that storefront?
Yeah, they're making a huge amount.
Huge amount. So why would you even take the chance? You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly. It would be suicide.
Yeah, well, for sure.
It might not be suicide, but it would drastically hurt them because there are other storefronts you can go to.
Right.
I mean, there's just no incentive for them to people would, even though they hate Epic. There's GOG. I mean, there's all the
yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah, so,
and even if you go to the pre-Epic days, like when Epic wasn't around and stuff like that, I still think. I just don't think this was in their business model. Like they didn't. No. They were like, we're making so much money from all the licensing of the games that we're doing to put them on our platform.
They don't need it,
Like, yeah, exactly.
But now, I do think Steam might have. I don't think it'll happen, but they might make a notion of maybe doing a subscription-based thing like Xbox, to where you could get not all, but a certain list of premium games included. So
that I could see, like something like that. I could see, like Steam Plus or whatever. Yeah. I could see something like that. But if we go back, to when, like, I'm not going to talk about Dreamcast because that was still very primitive. But it
was free to play online.
Yeah. No, right. It was, but it was primitive. Like
yes, of course.
When Xbox started to introduce that idea of like basically Steam, but on your console, and they really emphasized the cross communication and all of that. I didn't mind terribly because like I knew why this was happening, because it was a monopoly, right? Like, to your point,
exactly.
You can't really go anywhere or whatever. No. But I felt like, okay, there's good value here, right? Like the service was really strong, because don't forget, Sony's was free at first. And
it was. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's amazing how someone flipped the switch. Oh,
yeah, but it was. And it was smart the way they did it too, because
of course,
it wasn't a good unified platform. Like, there was no integrated voice chat. All of that was left up to the developers. Where, with Xbox, you press a single button and Steven and I could play Gears of War. There was nothing like that on PlayStation for a while. Anyway, then it started to get better. Like, I get it that there's fees associated. I totally understand that. I respect that. But, like, yeah, it's always felt a little like, you're gouging.
No, it's true. And I can understand, it is gouging. And I can understand what you said. There is at least some benefits to the PlayStation and Xbox. And we won't rip Nintendo's Surface apart. But, if you comparison, there's no comparison. They're vastly improved, and I can understand that, but they should really offer two, like a free version and then a sub version if you want to use all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, exactly. And I've always wondered why they never went in that direction, like where it's like, okay,
because
look,
of
guys,
this. No competition.
I know.
Hey, you're forced to do it.
I know.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. When there's no competition, it's bad.
But this is where, like, what happens now? Like, I'm going to follow this story big time now, because I am super, super curious.
I don't remember. Did Sony ever do a compensation for that?
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff. I don't remember.
Okay, cool.
I don't remember exactly what happened, but you got to remember 2011 was before, I think it was still free. Like, the service itself, I don't think was...
So maybe you didn't get anything then.
No, I think you did. I think they gave a game or something like that. to like compensate. Well, someone will remind me, but because like it was during the 2011. What console was it? Like I'm sure it wasn't
PlayStation
PS4.
3, right?
PS4 release date. Yeah, I'm sure it was 3. I'm sure it was. Yeah, for sure it was. PS4 launched in 2013, so there you go. So it wasn't charged. So the PlayStation Network was free at the time when that happened. But I don't know what Sony. I'm pretty sure they gave something. What did Sony give customers after the PSN outage? Let's see.
Because they're definitely going to have to do it this time because it's a paid service, so you can't.
Yeah,
like,
and that's why like people, everyone,
customer.
See here, gamers demand compensation for PSN outage. So an hour ago, US Day said 16-hour outage like continues. Now it's at 18, and like I'm telling you, I think it's over a day.
Sony. Who is behind their infrastructure, man? This is unacceptable. I mean, there are outages with stuff like Steam has outages, but literally, if anything, it's like 30 minutes to an hour or so tops. Like, I can't think of. I mean, sometimes they'll go a little longer, but yeah, they get their stuff done quick.
Yeah, here you go, dude. On May 16th, 2011, Sony announced that 2 PlayStation 3 games and 2 PSP games would be offered for free from lists of 5 and 4 respectively. So I'm pretty sure it was their games, obviously, that they they did. But yeah, man, this is you got a lot of people nervous that are like this is very similar to what happened last time.
Yeah, and let's come to a realization that back then there wasn't that, compared to today, there wasn't that many online games too, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, there were, but today everything is vastly different. So
yeah, and
there's a lot of people right now that can't play their games.
And exactly, and that's why like this. Yeah, man, this is gonna get real interesting really fast. If this continues into tomorrow, they're really gonna have problems. Like really.
And this is where the argument is, like how a lot, even single player games these days, a lot of games that's been for years require an internet connection to check, your license, etc. Whatever it's called. But it wasn't so much the case back then. So you could play your Final Fantasy. I'm not 100% sure. Some games might have required it back then, but not like today. So you can play your single player games fine. Nowadays, some of your single player games, which don't require internet for gameplay, still has to have internet connection. So yeah, things are different now. So I don't know. This is unacceptable to go in the fact that you're right. Sony's very quiet about it. That's another thing.
That's what I know. And that's exactly what is scaring people. That's exactly what's scaring people.
I feel for you console peeps, man. Can't play Dead by Daylight's new mode in a few days if things go the way it did last time. But hopefully they'll get it back up quickly. But yeah, 16 hours is unacceptable. So yeah, I don't know, man. It sucks.
Yeah, it does. And guys, there's something happening right now, right? Which is causing a lot of folks to be very upset. What is it? Second beta of
Monster Hunter Wilds.
Monster Hunter Wilds is going on right now on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation. So you got a lot of peeps, myself included, that were like, I didn't have time during the week, right? Like I've been busy. I work, right? Like I actually have multiple jobs. So I was looking forward to playing this morning. I had some work I had to do in the morning, and then I was gonna, play a little bit for this podcast, just to give, just some like early impressions. I haven't really gotten into a Monster Hunter in quite some time. Like it's been a while. And because, you were like, oh, yeah, it would be cool if we could like check out. So I was like, okay, let me, I haven't played in a while. Like I don't remember any of the controls. I don't remember any of this stuff. And so, yeah, I went on this morning and guess what? Boop, boop, boop. Can't log in. So then I came over to good old trusty my PC here.
A good thing you had the option for the PC,
right? Yeah. Well, I also have the Xbox, right? Like I could have gone to my Series X to check out, but I was like, no. Let me go on my PC. So boot up the old gaming rig, and I'm an idiot, and so I downloaded the wrong thing. I downloaded the benchmark instead of the beta, I was like, oh, maybe they're just calling it something different on PC, like whatever. So that took some time to install, but man, when it booted up, I was like, ooh. So I've got a RTX 2080 Ti. That's what I'm running. That's what I'm running on. Look it up if you like that era. And I have like a Core i9 from that era. I'm at like 32 gigs of RAM. Again, all that era, right? So it's, I can't believe it's already like 6 years old, 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, you're gonna have maybe some issues with it, man.
So anyway, so I wasn't I'm not expecting like ultra settings and whatever, but I was like, holy crap, man. Like I was averaging like 20 to 40 frames per second on medium. And I was like,
it makes me wonder, man, maybe I should because I told you, I think last podcast, like when I get a game that I know I'm going to get like this, I don't bother with betas because I'm going to buy it. I know I'll like it. So I don't even bother with the beta. But now that you say that, I'm kind of curious. I mean, my system's much newer than yours.
Yeah, I think, no, Tim, I'm positive you'll be okay. Like, I'm positive you'll be okay. The reason why I did it was like, I was just for the podcast, right? Like I wanted to just have something to say.
Yeah, well, at least you'll have it on PlayStation 5, but that kind of sucks. Yeah, your PC probably can't handle it as good as PlayStation 5.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm pretty sure the Series X and the PS5 will be a better experience. But while it was all downloading, I was just curious, right? So I was on Reddit and I was putting in my graphics card and stuff, and a lot of people were just saying, if you just put it on medium and you'll have a good like 30 FPS for most of the experience. And I was just like, okay, like, all right, that, fair enough, whatever. But then people were bashing the hell out of Capcom.
Yeah,
because they've got like the 5090 that was just released, and they have like FPS of like 62.
Yeah, matter of fact, like you're 50 frames per second on lowest setting, and 470's mid-range performance is not good. So yeah, not bad. Now to let you guys know, Capcom is usually console first, PC second in terms of, I think, their optimization, because they have been notorious with their, I mean, they eventually fix it in optimization eventually, but like Dragon's Dogma 2, horrible at launch on PC, especially even top rigged systems. So, and that just shows you that they're just not familiar, or, they're, like I said, they're console first, but they need to learn to embrace both sides, because when you, PC players are not as forgiving. So, because on console, you don't have a choice. If it runs bad, what are you going to do? You're not going to go buy another console that's better, right? You can't. So, yeah, but PC players are far more unforgiving because there's an expectation, a level that's set. And Capcom's not very good at it. Like I said, they can always be patched and stuff. But, yeah, I'm thinking that Monster Hunter Wilds won't be so smooth. And people are complaining on the 4000 series. So, and you're saying the 5000 series. So I know I'll be complaining too. But,
I don't know, dude. Like, it wasn't like I've never been one of these guys that, oh my god, man, 200 frames per second and all. I've never been one of these guys.
Yeah, me either. As long as it's good, it's fun.
Yeah, and on PC, I would like to be 60 frames per second just for smooth sake, if I can, and if I have a gaming rig, then yeah.
You have to remember, I play as Rise, the last one on the Switch. So you have the Switch visuals, the Switch frames per second. I'm kind of curious. I might download it on Game Pass because it's included, Rise, to see the comparison of the two. I'm pretty sure it'll be much sharper and better.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Frame. But yeah, I'm used to Switch, so the PC is definitely going to be an upgrade in that regards. I wonder if Wilds will come for Switch 2.
Yeah,
maybe.
Switch 2 for sure. Yeah, for sure. It really is going to depend on, with the Switch 2, I think it's really going to depend on truly the power outage, right? How strong is this thing? Is it an Xbox Series X, meaning slightly stronger than the PS4 and the Xbox Series 1? Or is it, or is it Series X / PS5 base model? And if it's because I think that's really going to be what determines, and that is what I cannot wait for later this year, because then we should start to hear rumors of the next Steam Deck and stuff like that. I'm just really curious, and I'm also curious to see what what is included in the PS5 Pro version of Wilds? Like, I'm really, 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 really curious because it's supposed to, oh, here, they actually have it. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Experience Monster Hunter Wilds in stunning visual fidelity on PS5 Pro. Blah, 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 blah. So what does it do? Okay, so performance mode. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, prioritize resolution. Goes up to 3840 by 2160. What the hell is 4K?
Oh, I wonder. It probably would
resolution. What is it?
But
2160. Okay, all right. So that's okay. So it is. So if you put it on resolution, you get 4K output with upscaling. Yeah. Okay, with upscaling at 30 frames per second. If you say prioritize frame rate, all ray tracing goes out the window. It's still upscaled. So it's still upscaled. The what's it called? And then they use it's 60 frames per second, but they say frame rate may drop in situations of high system load. So that goes to show you, man. Like, that goes to show you, even with like a brand new machine that's like almost $1,000, like, that's not very impressive. Like what I just read. Anyway, lots of stuff to discuss with you, my man. So I haven't played one in a long time, right?
It'll come back.
And well, come back, dude. They changed the whole control scheme, right?
Yeah,
from what I'm used to. So I really need to like spend some time actually like playing this, because like I was just like, the entire control setup, I was like, what the hell? Like, your attack buttons are normally they're like the first two on the diamond, and it's the second on the diamond. So that's weird. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, I mean, I think you can customize it. I don't know.
You can. Yeah. 100% you can. Like, for sure. But oh my god, man, I was sucking.
You're gonna have fun. Don't worry, Jared.
Awful. So what weapons do you use as a nooblet?
Well, the sword and shield, I think, is one of the best ones for nooblets.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what. Like, I just started to read, and then you texted me, and you were like, "Hey, you want to do the podcast?"
Sword and shield's actually a lot of fun. I like it actually. I used to play mostly the ranged ones, but those are a lot of fun too. Yeah, I like ranged. I like melee. It's fun in both. The longsword, the great sword, might be kind of fun, but that kind of takes a little timing you have to get used to. But it's not that bad. Yeah, I think sword and shield would be good. I like the dual wielding. What's it called? Dual blades. I think.
Yeah, that's what I
love, because it's so fast paced. It's so fun. You can do little aerial tricks.
But that's the stuff. Like I'm gonna have to watch some videos, to be honest, to like prepare for this, because like the truth is I just don't. I don't remember, man. It's been so long that like I'm trying to like, okay, so I have to move. I have to use a trigger in order to bring up a reticule in order to aim. Plus, I have to attack all while doing this while moving around. I'm like, okay, that's a lot of.
Oh, it can suck at nature though.
Yeah,
you learn the combos pretty easily.
Like I said, I just gotta watch some videos.
So the Monster Hunter series is kind of like you take a break from it, you're gonna be rusty, and then you come back. Oh, okay, cool. I got the groove down. It takes a little while, but
yeah,
dude, you have those people that. So the thing is, people who exclusively play like this game for years are still finesse the
like
real quick.
Yeah.
Because
that is not Jared.
Now you have to play a lot to do that, but it's gonna be a lot of fun, Jared. I think.
I don't know what to do.
Open world Monster Hunter, which is great. Man, you play the older ones like GU, dude. The monster goes from one zone to the next. You have to load. And the maps are so small in the GU. It's funny. It's amazing how the series have progressed over the years.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, man. So now I don't know what to do. To be really honest with you, I don't know what to do, because.
Oh, you have time. This not gonna be out for a while.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
19 days, guys.
Because like I'll tell you, like if depending on what is happening with the PlayStation. with the PlayStation Network now, I'm really gonna be like, okay, like what do I do here? So, anyways, but my PC it wasn't bad. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like terrible. It's just,
But yeah.
like, it's showing its age when it comes to like brand new releases. Some guy was crazy enough to play the beta on his Steam Deck, and I just died. It was like running it on an old 486. Like, it was like having, I forget, like some of the frames are like 5 frames a second and stuff, and you're just like, wow, man.
Yeah, I don't think that Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So, anyways, but no, listen. Was really nice, was beautiful looking for just what I was playing. I was like, yeah, wow, man. I remember playing this on my PSP. That's how long ago, like, I got into this series. But I know they radically changed, like, all the controls. They modernized everything now, and it's just, so I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll give this a go. Let's see how it is. Let's see, and we'll go from there. One of the big surprises, the other thing that I wanted to mention, just because this is really surprising, and I think it's actually why we're seeing Microsoft really like pivot. Turns out that the Xbox sold under 3 million units in North America last year, like for the whole
their
year.
Biggest market, right?
Yeah, and so they're saying it's the worst year ever for Microsoft hardware, and it's really sad, man, because 360, like, I was looking at it the other day. I was like, what the hell happened, man? Like, they pulled a Sega, and it's crazy. Like, like, they came out with the Xbox. I don't want to say nobody cared. People cared. And Halo was really huge, and like, what they did with the online infrastructure was awesome. And then the 360 came out, and it was incredible, man. It was like a gamer's paradise on console. Like, it was amazing. And I know they flubbed up the next console with the, the emphasis on entertainment and like, always online and all this sort of stuff. And people were like, what the hell is this crap? But I cannot believe that they were not able to get any goodwill back. Like, it's just, their sales are getting worse and worse and worse. And it reminds me of Sega, where it was like, that's what happened, right? Like, the Genesis did so good, like, it was unreal, and then it just fell off a cliff. And I feel like they did the same thing.
Microsoft claims there will be another console hardware.
Oh, I'm sure there will. No,
but I just don't see long term them supporting it, because they're a business front and center. Matter of fact, you remember what they talked about the original Xbox when it came out? They lost so much money that if it was any other company, they would have gone out of business.
Yeah.
Right. So, well, there was also all notorious hardware issues, right? But yeah, they lost so much money. So I don't think Microsoft's ever really made a profit of it. Maybe they.
No, I'm sure they have by now, but. It's
well, as a publisher, you see how successful they're right now.
Yeah.
So
it's just
they're making money.
I was like, I don't know. It was like almost like a little sad, where I was like, this is sad. Like, I don't want to go back to where it's just like one powerhouse, company. And funny enough, Nintendo has been dominating like crazy. Can you even imagine Nintendo could become the default leader? They already technically are, but it's just, I don't consider it an all-encompassing thing because of all the third parties, right? Like, they're not, like, it's a little bit different. But can you imagine if Nintendo just out-survives everybody? And then they're like, hey, look at us! We're the kings again!
Yeah. Well, they are the kings again.
Yeah,
they by the way, third party's done extremely well on Switch.
I hope I'm being clear on what I mean. It's more like, it's just like Monster Hunter Wilds, right? Like, it can't come out on the current.
At least we got the last Monster Hunter on there.
Yeah. But anyways, I hope I'm making sense. It's just like,
but it's going to be interesting, because Switch 2 every analyst is saying will be a huge success, and I do believe it will be. Will it be on the success of the Switch 1? That's, we'll see 7 years from now, obviously, 7 years from now. I don't know if it'll sell that kind of stuff, but I guarantee it'll be a huge success. They got a winning formula. They were very smart to name it 2 Right. I don't know why they didn't do this years ago, dude. The NES 2, NES 3, etc. Well, anyways, that's all in the past. But yeah, I'm happy that that's the thing. It's good for brand recognition and stuff like that.
I agree.
But Sony, though, is the only last man standing. If you think about it, though, Nintendo's still not a traditional console. Right?
No, that's kind of what it was.
That's the thing.
That's kind of what it would. That's kind of what I'm saying is like, you know, it's kind of sad. It's like, I don't know, and we're like in another like 10 years or whenever the infrastructure
who knows what the market's
catches up.
Be. Like Sony might be switching gears too.
Oh, I think I think so, dude. And like more and more, it was so funny. Like this is so funny. So I'm recording this on an iMac. Okay, an M3 iMac.
Oh, an iMac. M3?
Yeah, an M3 iMac that was
released. So it's still modern. I thought you meant the OG
year.
iMac.
No.
How the hell do you do that,
like,
dude?
And it just boggles my mind. I was talking to a colleague of mine about this the other day, how everything runs better on this than my freaking gaming PC. It doesn't even make sense.
Well, it's also a lot newer. Too.
No, yeah, but Macs have always done this. And what I mean is, I don't mean Mac stuff. I'm not talking Mac stuff. I'm talking about Windows. And it is.
Are you running Windows right now?
Not right now with this, but I have Parallels, which is an emulation layer, sort of like Proton, that allows you.
Still have Boot Camp? Mac still has Boot Camp?
Not anymore. No, ever since
they got rid of that.
Well, it's because it's no longer an Intel processor, right? So that's
that's right.
It's a little more tricky, but I'll tell you, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I just sit here and I'm shaking my head. Like, I do all my Windows updates. They're about 100 times faster than they are on my real PC.
They are on a good... Intel needs to decide what they're going to do. They should go ARM like the rest of the industry is. So they use less power, less heat. So I don't know what Intel's going to do, man. But they're at a point where their chips are kind of behind the times. I mean, they're still impressive for what they do, but they just... power hungry and heat hungry.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think they should just bite the bullet and just go. Yeah, but the problem is these companies don't want to, right? Because then that means you're giving up, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Exactly. But anyways, it's gonna be really interesting to see. But it was just really funny because this morning I had, I was on Windows and I was just updating different things and whatever. And I'm not gonna do it now because I know it's not gonna work well. Because these things don't have dedicated GPUs, right? So that's where, like, gaming on this is not really an option there. But I just thought it was really funny, like all my updates, everything, whoop, whoop, super. It's like the cleanest version of Windows you'll ever use. Yeah. And it's just so weird because then I go back on my PC and it's like, it's a bloated OS. And it's just, I always found it so bizarre. But anyway, so overall, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what Monster Hunter is actually like the final finished version. You basically fight one monster and then you get like a splash screen when you beat it saying, thanks for playing. Now they're like, we're going to open it up to you if you want to just explore this one area. And then you can, you can build, make groups and all of this. For me, I was like, okay, I literally wanted to just be able to talk about it for this. And I realized like, wow, do I ever suck? Just because I don't remember anything. So like dodging, how do you heal yourself?
Oh yeah,
how do you,
come back quickly.
And I mean, it's
matter of fact, I haven't played last Monster on the Switch for a while. Actually, if I go back, I'll probably take a little while to get back in the groove. I probably won't remember how to do the grappling thing. And
well, dude, I don't remember Jack. Because it's not even remember. It's like
each system has their own little gimmick.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Avowed, is it this week that it comes out or next week?
Oh, I can't wait for that. That's a single player game, man.
Yeah, it's a single player game, but it looks great. We're looking forward to that. I just hope that the mechanics work well. And so this is the thing, okay?
The 18th.
18th, yep. So 10 days.
Yeah, coming up next week, right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, 7 days.
No, not next week.
The week
after.
A week
from Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's a little over a week and a half.
So that's what I love with Game Pass, right? Is let's say all the reviews come out and they're like, oh my God, this is terrible. This is the worst.
Yeah. there's one thing that I can understand, I guess, because you get the game included as a service, but like Steam and even on Xbox, if you, through the app, you could preload it and get access to it early, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah,
so Game Pass doesn't get early access, which I kind of think sucks. I think they should capitalize on that. So it includes it, but I can understand that if you're asking money on other platforms and stuff to pay it, I can understand. It's included in the service, so you can't complain.
Yeah, and
that's
one
thing
that
sucks is like I'm sitting there like, oh, like Avowed and all that. I can play early if I pay for it, right? To upgrade my the game to a higher edition, because there's like 1 or 2, 3 editions to these games now. And but I don't, so I have to wait to launch. But I get it included in the service, so I don't have to pay extra. But
well, that's the thing.
I wanted to.
And dude, let's say the reviews come out and this is the worst game since Superman 64.
Yeah, and then I don't have to worry about it.
Exactly,
yeah, right.
and that's what I really like with that service. It's what I really like. Is like if the reviews come out and this thing is like, oh my gosh, then forget it. I'm gonna move on to something else. And that's what I like. That's awesome, because that just saved me like $60, $70, like whatever.
60, 70 now, right?
Well, that's it. Exactly. So like, no, really cool. Like seriously, like, really cool. I think hopefully this Sony thing is not serious. Like I'm really hoping it's not serious.
You don't play the Civ games either, man. Like I said, this could be out next week.
Yeah, but dude, you can't play everything.
I'll let you know what it's like once I play. Well, when's the release date? I think the 11th, if I remember right.
That's coming up. Yeah, that should be this week.
Yeah, so I'll definitely have it played before. Here, let me make sure.
You're buying that at full price?
Yeah, the 11th. So I'll have that played before our next podcast. So I'll give you impressions then. Yeah.
Did you actually pre-order that?
I'm going to pre-order it. I don't usually pre-order. Well, is there any pre-order incentive? I might have to pre-order Wilds though, because Wilds gives you bonuses, but I don't think Civ. Here, let me check.
I don't know. All I know is that
gives you any bonuses.
It shows like
there's no pre-order bonus.
No, I know, but I just don't trust you. That's why, because I know what you're going to say. I got to wait for a sale.
There's no incentive. If there's no incentive to pre-order, why?
Because it's you.
Wilds gives you cosmetics though, so that is worth it.
Anyways, you're so funny. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see if he actually buys it, or if he'll say, you know what? No, gotta wait for the sale, guys. Gotta wait for a sale.
Oh, no, because it has multiplayer. I told you, with multiplayer game, anything with multiplayer, you get your money's worth.
We'll see.
You sink thousands of hours into
We'll see. Anyways, with Civ...
Jared mocks me.
With Civ, it's interesting, man, because like they're like, oh yeah, it's fully compatible with the Steam Deck. I'm like, really?
Okay.
Like, how the hell does that work? So that could be why people are complaining about, like, mouse, keyboard, and like all this. Because I was very surprised when I saw that, where they're like fully compatible with the Steam Deck, and I'm like, okay,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, okay, man. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about that. I guess this week I just keep doing with what I've been doing. I've been playing. I finished that Frontier game finally. 30 hours, man.
Wow, not bad. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it. It was fantastic. If I would have played that last year when it actually came out, that would have probably made my top 10. Like, it was really enjoyable.
Really that good? Nice.
Yeah, really. And
you could add it to the top 10 hopefully for this. Well,
no, I can't. Exactly. So
because it came out last year.
Yeah. But Ender, what is it, Magnolia or whatever the hell it is, guys, buy that. I don't care. You don't wait for a sale. Just buy that. It is gorgeous, and of everything I have played on the Steam Deck, it is the best playing game I have ever played on the Steam Deck. Like, no, dude, like the battery lasts for like 5 hours. I've never seen anyone optimize a game to that level before.
Nice.
It's unbelievable. I play a little bit. I've played a little bit of that game there, Resetna.
Yeah, you like it.
It was
that one to you. Remember?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's why I told you. If you have any games, they don't have to be Metroidvania. Anything that you're like, hey, this looks kind of cool or whatever, just shoot it my way. Because I just add it to my wish list, and then if sales come or whatever, I'm like, oh, okay. But with this game, what was really interesting is it's an indie game, of course, but like I posted like a picture or whatever, and I went to the community hub, and some guy was like, "Hey, does anyone know if it works on Steam Deck?" So I was like, "Oh, I'll take a chance," because the official like sort of whatever recommendation from Valve, it says something like pending or whatever. Like they don't know. And then I installed the Proton. They're like, it's like a little like flag or whatever that gets like overlaid on top because it's community based. So like you would post and say, yeah, works fine, don't worry about it, and someone else and someone else. But strangely enough, I guess because it's an indie release that's like brand new, they didn't even like acknowledge the game existed. But it was really cool. Like, so I downloaded it for the first time and I went, whoa, because it was like 25 watts a second. So basically what that translates to is like your battery will be dead in 40 minutes, something like that. Like it is just going to kill your battery. So I went on the community hub and I let someone know. I was like, yeah, it works perfectly fine, but just be aware that it like just destroys your battery. And the developer replied to me and was like, really? He's like, I'm not, it shouldn't. They're like, we did do testing on Steam Deck because it's the perfect type of game for the Go and stuff. And strangely enough, I like played around with the settings and then I went back to default and the battery went from like 25 down to like 14. And so I was like, that's weird. So I let them know. I was like, hey guys, I haven't been able to replicate this. I'm like, I don't know what, maybe it was a one-off bug or I don't know. But it was super cool. And this is the thing that I love about the community hub. This is probably my favorite thing with the community hub is that I ended up having an entire conversation with a developer and we started like actually, cool. Yeah, it is. And it was super cool.
Because this happens a lot with indie, but with AAA, they hire PR firms, so you never talk to the developers of Electronic Arts or Ubisoft directly. They'll have their representative in the quote unquote dev, but it's not. It's just a PR firm.
Yeah, but with this, it was like it's
you talk to the real people, and they're passionate about
exactly.
Speaking of which, I sent you a week or so ago about video about. I know you don't. It was about the. Total say it was about Snap, but it had a lot about indie stuff. Mm-hmm. And amazing how 48% of games sold on Steam are indie titles.
Yeah, but
it's substantial.
Dude, that's not
becoming much smaller, dude.
Yeah, it's not surprising, dude. Factor in everything, right? So, computers cost more than they've ever cost now. Yeah, right. Look at Wilds. Like to play Wilds with.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous, right? Like all these games, like the Ender Magnolia now. Like, dude, that's amazing to me. That it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game, and like it's just a small little indie developer. I like survival horror games, so like.
Why don't you play by Daylight? This
like.
Yeah, survival. It's classified as that. You survived, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's awesome. There's like 2 or 3 games where I'm actually talking to the developers, like literally talking to the developers, and I'm just sending them kudos and being like, guys, I love what you're doing. Like they're doing, some guys are doing like Resident Evil, Silent Hill type of.
I'm thinking of which. Look up Fear the Reaper. That's another horror survivor focused game. And that's a 1 versus 4 type thing, so it's kind of like a Dead by Daylight.
But there's
what's out?
There's like
hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
While you're looking that up, I'll be right back.
Yeah. All good. I'm gonna. He's so funny. Eh? He leaves mid podcast. So professional. It's unbelievable. What do we got? Where's my wish list? I just want to show you guys like. All right. So, where is it?
It's a small indie developer, but it's interesting. The thing is, though, a lot of these ASIM type games, man, they never get the long-term support like Dead by Daylight. It's extremely difficult for them to do that. But, it might be a little niche game that might be. I usually like to check them out. I don't know, but we'll see.
So there's one called Liminal Point. It looks.
Oh, there's other ones too. Yeah.
Looks
it's a lot of
awesome, man. Like absolutely awesome.
You will see a lot of these games promise the world and
no. But what's cool is so like Tormented Souls came out. I don't know, maybe 2-3 years ago. It's excellent Resident Evil style game.
Oh yeah. Thinking about Capcom's taking down their Resident Evil multiplayer game. So yeah, that was a big failure. So it's unfortunate.
Okay, and this is one I want to give a shout out to, just because like I really respect this. It's a husband-wife duo, okay?
Nice.
And they've been working on this for quite a while. And there's been demos, and I always missed them, damn it. It's called Echoes of the Living. It looks...
Ooh, let me look that up.
It looks so good.
Of the Living, right?
Yeah.
Echoes?
Yeah. It's like a more refined Resident Evil game. Like graphics are better and stuff like that. But it's
there it is. Oops.
It uses pre-rendered graphics. It looks so good, man. I can't. The fact that this is made by two people just blows my friggin' mind.
Oh yeah, dude, it's a Resident Evil clone, hands down.
But it looks incredible, man. For two people that have worked on this,
focused on the '90s re-imaging of visual horrors. Their goal is to make it okay. Hey, this actually looks. I mean, dude, I'm gonna put that to my wish. I'm not gonna lie, it looks like Resident Evil, but
yeah, but of course it does. It looks. But that's what they're going for. And I've been following them. I've been following them on Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it. And I've been interacting with them, giving them kudos of like, keep going, guys, because like this looks great, man. Yeah,
it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, and I love that.
Be a lot of fanboys saying, "Oh," but no, it's cool. It's fine.
No, I love cool, this kind of stuff that like people do these types of things.
I hope that they do well.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways,
and it's also a risk. Oh, servers are back up. It looks like for someone on Discord saying for PS.
Yeah,
and so that might be true as we're recording it. You might want to check that out before we wrap things up.
I will tell you in a minute. Let's see. Nope, it's still down. You can't trust that kind of stuff. You got to go to the official site. Anyways, all right, guys. So we will keep you posted on that. That's going to be really interesting to see what the fallout is of this, because for a paid service, ooh, baby, that's not going to go over well. So, Tim, you have a job next week. Spend some money. Tell us how Civ is, and we'll go from there.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.